What's up, YouTube fam?
Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Double Helping, Christmas edition.
So we're really excited, y'all, because we've been waiting for this time of year ever since December the 26th, 2019, Christmas. Before we get into our recipes, we just want to give you a little disclaimer. Normally, we try to give you recipes that are lower in calorie or good for weight loss, weight maintenance, or clean recipes. However, we just want to be completely transparent. We don't eat like that 24/7, and we believe that everything is fine in moderation.
So, we didn't put too many things that might be on your naughty list in the ingredients, and we kept it really simple, not too many steps. So, make sure you comment below and let us know what you tried and what you enjoyed. For this recipe, we chose to use Enjoy Life's dark chocolate chips, which contain 69% cacao. Here I'm pouring 1 cup of dark chocolate chips into a crock pot on high level heat since I want this to be a quicker melting process. Using 1 cup of dark chocolate chips created 10 clusters, which you'll see me measure out in just a second. Now that this is all melted, I'm sprinkling in some slivered almonds. I'm also going to eyeball in some sourdough oats pretzels. These were so good and added just the right amount of crunch. Lastly, we couldn't forget to add 2 ounces of cranberries from Good & Gather and mix well. These dried cranberries are going to add the perfect surprise when you bite into the cluster. Here I'm using a 1.5 tablespoon cookie scoop and placing my clusters on a silicone mat. A silicone mat is not required. You can use whatever you have on hand. Finally, I'm adding a sprinkle of pink Himalayan salt across the tops of each. I pop this in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes to harden up. Afterwards, I put them in the fridge. I didn't notice any melting when they were out at room temperature, so I'd say refrigeration is not required after they initially harden. Create a double boiler by filling a saucepan about halfway with water, then place a bowl on top. I'm pouring in and melting the rest of my chocolate chips. Use a silicone spatula or regular spoon to spread your chocolate evenly onto a quarter-size sheet pan. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan that's been lined with parchment paper. If you want your chocolate to cover the entire pan, I suggest using more than 1 cup of chocolate chips and try not to spread it too thin. This was the perfect portion size for me and my loved ones. While you repeat the same steps with 1 bag of Lily's white chocolate baking chips. Adding some green food coloring for a pop of color. You're gonna see me creating some ugly little swirls in just a moment, but trust the process. You can either use a really sharp knife or a toothpick to create these. I use a blender to crush up my peppermints. I would suggest only pulsing it to avoid them becoming dust. Let your peppermint bark harden in the freezer, and you can easily break them into squares or random sizes if you like.
What's up, YouTube fam? Mel here. Let's move on to our next recipe. Now, if you're like me, you love eggnog, you want it year round, but your stomach does not agree. So here is a dairy-free version. So I just took a sweet potato, about medium size. I baked it for 45 minutes at 400 degrees, let it cool, and then I'm just gonna add it to my blender. Also, I'm gonna be adding in 1 full can of full fat coconut milk. This is the Good & Gather brand from Target. And we're just gonna blend. Once that's blended up smoothly, then we're gonna add in our seasoning. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of allspice, or you can use nutmeg. And I'm also going to be using 5 tablespoons of Date Lady date syrup. I get this from Target, but they also sell it at Walmart. We're just going to blend again. Next, I'm going to be adding in the Califia Farms Almond Coconut Milk Blend. I'm just going to add the entire jug and blend once more until everything is nice and smooth. And you're going to have 8 cups of nice, smooth, creamy eggnog. Look at that pour. Beautiful. Move on to our raspberry thumbprint cookies. Dry ingredients first, which are going to be 2 cups of almond flour, 1/4 cup of coconut flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. And then just mix those. Then let's get our wet ingredients together. So just 1 egg, 1/3 cup of melted coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and also 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, or you could use brown sugar, and just mix them. Then we're going to add the wet ingredients to our dry ingredients and mix thoroughly again. Once it's mixed well, we're just going to let it sit for about 8 to 10 minutes. We just want to make sure that everything absorbs nicely. Then we're just going to roll the dough into 1-inch balls and then use our tip of our thumb to create an indentation in the cookie. You can reshape them if you'd like to make them prettier. And then we're just going to add in some jelly, or actually I'm using preserve. I used a 4-berry blend, Truth at Kroger. Then we're just going to bake this for 8 minutes. You just want to make sure that it gets like a slight brownness to it. Let them cool, put it on your cooling rack if you have one. And it's optional, but you can add some powdered sugar if you have some. Y'all, we really hope you enjoyed what we came up with. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, let us know what you tried, let us know if you enjoyed it, also what you want to see more of. And see you next time.